is an edit demo for your Fruit Ninja pictures. You will be using Photoshop, so we need to go to Photoshop, File, Open, and select your pictures. So here's my first picture. Now I need to do levels and saturation adjustment layers. So your adjustment layers can be found right here. So here's my adjustment layers. You can also find them here. I'm going to go to levels. And this brightens my exposure. So in general, I'm going to hold Alt or Option, and I'm going to see it's clipping out some of the red. So I don't want to lose too much detail. I definitely don't want to do that. I'm clipping out all that information, but I'm just losing a little detail in my red channel. And I'm gonna look, I'm holding Alt or Option to see where are we losing details. So I think that's a little better. Now I'm going to do a hue saturation layer. And I'm just gonna increase my saturation a little, don't go crazy. I'm just gonna increase my saturation a little and make my fruit more vibrant. So there are my two adjustment layers. Now I need to use clone stamp, making sure I add a new layer to remove the stick. So I'm going to click on my background layer. I'm going to hit the new layer button. I'm going to name it clone stamp. And I'm going to get my clone stamp. So remember, clone stamp is the one where you have to hold Option and click to pick your sample area. And the key to doing this well is first I'm going to zoom in, Command or Control plus. I'm going to make my brush bigger, and I'm going to make it just about the same size as it needs to be to cover up this. Make sure I'm going to do current and below because I have adjustment layers on there and I don't want to do that. I'm going to make sure my hardness is at 0 to start. And I'm going to start getting rid of right here. So I'm going to hold Option. I'm going to click once. Picked my sample area. So now I have a sample. And I'm going to go straight down from where I picked the colors. So make sure you go straight down. So my sample area is right there. And because I went straight down, it'll line up. And when I get to this spot, I'm going to come up here. I'm going to make my brush smaller. I'm going to hold Option. And I need to get a piece of the fruit that has a similar curve. So right now I'm on top of myself, so that's not going to work out. That's a little darker, so I'm Option clicking. And see, I'm starting to copy this, so I'm going to make sure I get rid of that. But I need it to look realistic, and because of this curve right now, it is not working out. So that looks bad. I'm going to undo. Okay, so I'm going to make the brush even smaller and zoom in. And I'm going to get rid of the stick part first. I'm going to turn my hardness up a little bit so that I don't accidentally cover up the stem of the orange. I'm going to turn it back down. I'm going to Option click. So my problem right now is that there's like a bump in it. So I'm going to Option click down here. But you can tell the color is not perfect, but it's better. Ooh, I went too far. I'm going to Option click, come back and try and fix that little weird spot. It's not looking awful. Okay, so I got rid of that. You can tell the color is not perfect. So I'm going to Option click right here. And I need it to match up exactly. So I'm going to go right above it, hold Option click, let go. I'm going to go down, and I only need to go a little bit. And then since I'm going straight down, I can keep going this way. Ooh, I'm starting to copy my fruit again. Gonna option click right below it. So the key is to stay horizontal. Option click. I'm gonna make my brush a little bigger. Option click. So my source point, which is what I'm option clicking, and where I'm drawing are right above each other. And I'm being really careful to not, see right now I'm too close. I need to option click. There's a darker area, it looks a little weird. Okay, option click. And I'm looking at the preview and lining it up. So right now I'm gonna start copying my stick. So I went a little too close, I went too far. I'm lining up using the preview, and I'm only doing that one spot. Going right above, make sure my mouse isn't on it though. Option click, and then I'm gonna go straight down and line it up. And then I can just click and drag. But I'm being careful not to let the X go low enough that I would start painting the stick again, because if I go like this, it's going to start painting the stick, so you don't want to do that. So I am continuing along. So eventually you'll get all of the stick gone. Let's see how close I am. Pretty close. Again, go right above it, option click, line up my preview, go down, being careful to not go down so far that I start painting the stick again. And you see I'm pretty zoomed in here, so I can do a fine detail job. Option click right above, go straight down. I got a little stick right there for some reason. So I'm making sure the colors match perfectly. See, I accidentally painted a little there. And this is all just background. Whoops, painted some of the stick. Okay. Ooh, that spot looks bad. Got a little rush there in the end and it looked not good. Why does that look so bad? I think the light was falling off a little there. Nope. Okay, so now any little weird spots, I can use Healing Brush tool, which is this one. And it is close. I want to be current and below. It's like Clone Stamp, where I have to option click, but it will blend a little for me. So those weird spots that were a little inconsistent, we can get rid of with that. Okay, made sure it was on a new layer. End result, you cannot see where I clone stamp. Turn it on and off, and I cannot tell that I broke it up at all. So that one spot right there. Okay, so now I just need to crop it. It needs to be a 5x7. And remember, I can make it go the other way. I need to remove my hand. And then once I do this, if I want to expand my background so that it's more rule of thirds, I go right here and do generative expand. And the AI should expand. Ooh, I'm on the wrong layer. That's not going to work. Make sure I'm on my background layer when I want to do that. I'm going to bring it in. But just so you know that I can fix my composition by doing like rule of thirds or something, I'm going to use this and I'm going to hit generative expand. So make sure you are on the background layer before you go to the crop tool, because otherwise it'll fill it in with my clone stamped area. So make sure I'm on this one. Okay, and look at that. It filled in the entire background for me and matched it. Okay, so you can add a water splash image if you would like. If you want a good points, you can go to the internet and find one and then copy and paste it and put it in there. So this is what your final edit product should look like. Make sure you turn in a screenshot. So I'm going to File, Save, and that'll be my Photoshop. And then I'm also going to File, Save as a copy. It won't let me save as a copy until it finishes saving the other one. And I want to make it just a regular JPEG. And then I also need to Command-Shift-4 and take a screenshot, making sure my layers panels is in there. And that is it. Happy editing.